Hi, this is Steve Farnsworth for the Steveology blog, and today I'm looking at PR's role in content marketing. Joining me is Shaun Saunders, founder of Graffiti PR and curator for the PR Summit held in San Francisco every year. Thank you for being here, Shaun.
Thank you for having me, Steve. Thank you so much.
You know, as being so involved as a moving force in the PR Summit, you have a lot of insights. I want to kind of, in terms of listening to all these interesting people, and you do as out of your intellectual curiosity. And so I'm kind of curious, like when you look at things, one of the big things is analytics. And so in your mind, how do you make data actionable from your fans' conversations?
Well, I'm always interested to see where what people are thinking about when they're talking about our client's product, and we really sort of mine that conversation, and through a number of things. We research what's going on in Twitter, we look at what's happening with Facebook, and really some of the key buzzwords in their commentary and what they're saying in these different places. And we also use a number of sort of services that are off-the-shelf services that are out there that have been actually created by other PR people to see sort of where the trends are coming up. And the trends are coming up. The analytics for me is what people are talking about as pain points, because those are the things that our clients are trying to solve. So the reverberation of the conversation, if the same thing is being said a number of different times in these different places, then that's where the trend is. And that's, I mean, analytics is, I think for me, analytics is such a nebulous sort of thing. And what I mean by that is that it's really, really hard to sort of quantify what it is and where you can grab it from if it doesn't have any meaning. So, for me, I'm looking for meaning when I'm sort of drilling down through Facebook or Twitter, and then actually responding to people with a meaningful question, which hopefully will start a dialogue, because that's the most important part.
So if I understand you correctly, so you're using a combination of tools. What kind of tools do you use, by the way?
Well, for me, I'm using Facebook, and I'm using Google Analytics. I haven't gotten into some of the more sort of advanced advanced products that are out there.
So you're starting from there, and then actually going through and looking at all the comments and seeing if any of that kind of data starts stepping forward in terms of the pain points, and then going back and finding those people who had that pain point and asking questions to dig deeper and start a conversation. Is that what I understand?
That is correct. Right. And what that's forcing me, what that seems to forcing me to be is to pay attention and to be more social in our outreach and in our dialogue, particularly with editors and bloggers, because sometimes the best aha moments come from these people when they're sharing the story, through their portal. I don't know if that makes sense, but
you're talking about people like are able to adjust the voice for their audience and in their platform.
That is correct.
In your mind, what does it take to be a good content marketing strategist?
Well, I think it's a few things. Number one, I think a good content strategist should have a good sense of what the trends are in their particular vertical market and what are the hot button issues, and really who's talking about those issues across the great digital divide. So there's always up to between 5 and 10 major thought leaders who are certainly talking about these subjects and ideas specifically. I think the other piece of it is one should be a really good writer and have really good SEO skills. And so the SEO skills will tie into writing targeted pieces about a particular topic or subject that's really going to sort of generate the interest. And I think we're all looking for something to go viral, but and something that's really going to connect to their community. So a person who has that eye, a person who's a good editor, and a person who knows their community quite well.
So in terms of hard skills, I'm hearing the ability to understand, not necessarily be an SEO expert, but understand SEO and how it relates to your content. Being a good editor, understanding a good story. What are there other skills, hard skills that you'd say that a content marketing person should be developing?
Yeah, I think what's coming out of this conference and some other thought leadership ideas is this new idea of how to be a social journalist. So what's happened with, in business communications, the consumer is now sort of the gatekeeper. So the question is how do we become better social journalists, but also better gatekeepers as well? But what that means is it encompasses really understanding the marketplace that you're in and how it's moving. Like what is the scale of your marketplace, and then also how your particular, if you work at an agency, how your client's product plays within that. So before you even go in, you can create effective strategies.
And talk a little about, just for people who don't know what social journalism is, can you talk about what that is?
Well, so, social journalism, to me, from the PR perspective, is I now need to be able to write as effectively and develop my own voice and create my own community and followers. So for me, that's what a social journalist is. I need to become a you. I need to become an expert in what I do. So I'm not an expert in I'm an expert in bringing people together to talk about big ideas year in and year out. My passion is people. So I understand what my passion is. My passion is being social. My passion is connecting with people who are smarter than me to teach me the teachable moment. So a part of that is understanding what my role is in the ecosystem of content marketing, and again, what I feel like I want to contribute, but as well as give back.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Just in terms of, one of the things I think as a PR practitioner, I'm sure that you are tasked with this a lot, but how do you, the stage is so noisy. We have access to, so many people have access now to the means of communications. There are a lot of people doing it very poorly, making a lot of noise, making it really hard to get your message amplified and heard. What do you recommend, or what is the key to getting your message amplified these days?
Well, there's several things. There are no guarantees, number one. Number two is timing. There's marketplace and there's timing. And then the third thing is it's really who is chattering about this particular topic or subject or idea in a large venue. But it's also it really is. You almost have to relanguage what's amplification and really mine that down into targeted goals and actionable steps that can create a desired result. So it's almost as if PR people need to become behavioral PR. Using that psychology. Because at the end of the day, that's what we do. We're really sort of directing all of these different things, content, story ideas, pitching, op-ed pieces, white papers, really to create a desired result, whether it's to press a button to click, to download an app, to take a look at this or that. So I think it's really, really understanding that and then driving that behavior and engagement targets and tactics. It's almost as if it's a military operation.
So let me see if I can make sure I understood it. There's a lot you covered there, and I think it's worth making sure that I hit all those points. So part of what I hear is like there's not necessarily a silver bullet to get everybody to hear you, but it may not necessarily be you need to have everyone hear you. You need to have the right people hear you. Then you need to figure out what's going to connect with those steps are going to connect to the end part or that audience, and then say it in a way that uses their language so that they hear it. Is that fundamentally what you're saying?
That is correct.
Fantastic. Shaun, if people want to learn more about you or connect with you, how can they do that?
They can check us out at prsummit.org, or they can follow me on Twitter at prsummit.
Fantastic.
It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Shaun.
Thank you so much for your time, Steve.